Alright, so I'm going to continue on in this series using the Keda Liquid Solvent dyes. Today I have the bright crimson red. This is the Keda Crimson Red. I'm going to end up using that on, again, the maple. It's not a fancy maple, and an oak. So I'm going to set these boards off to the side. Grab this lacquer thinner, because I'm going to be mixing it into 4 ounces of lacquer thinner. Taking my measuring cup, pour myself half a cup. Might be a little too much there. It is. Sorry about this. I'm usually pretty good at guesstimating. There we go. Okay, so this is 4 ounces. I don't think it's going to show up very good on the camera, but this is the 4 ounces. Just going to pour this in, cap this up. Then I'm going to be taking 1/8 teaspoon. Now this might be a little light for the red, just because the red is a little brighter color. It's a little lighter and brighter color. But I'm still going to end up using the 1/8 teaspoon, because I'm going to show you guys a little trick on how hopefully you guys can end up saving a little bit of dye when you're using something like this. Now this is going to be about 1 gram, actually about 3/4 of a gram with the 1/8 teaspoon. So I'm probably really pushing this, but we'll see what ends up happening. Okay, so this is the 1/8 teaspoon of red, the 4 ounces of lacquer thinner. Now, all I really did for preparation on this was a good wood sanding. Again, I did a 120 grit using the wood-specific sandpaper. I personally use the Hermes. It's a good sandpaper for my purposes. I'm not trying to, endorse anything, or I'm just telling you guys what I do. And I took the 120 grit, went to the 150 grit, and then with a 180 grit. Now again, it was the wood-specific sandpaper, not a multi-purpose. Now the multi-purpose has a good practicalities for its own uses, but I just find that with this wood-specific sandpaper, it just gets me a real clean sanding. I just have better results and better better finishes with a wood-specific sandpaper. Well, because that's really what it's designed for. Anyways, you also really want to end up letting the wood dyes have a chance to, acclimate to the solvent base that you're using. With high concentrated dyes and high quality dyes, there's a lot of components that really go into these dyes, and sometimes it takes a little bit of time just for all of the components to fully open up and to fully emulsify into this solvent solution. So I mean, typically you'll want to let it just rest for like 15-20 minutes at least, to let all of these open up. Because what's going to happen is when they all open up, it'll end up lasting a little bit longer on the dye surface instead of evaporating near instantly. Now that can be a good thing to have it dry fast. But for me, I like the dyes to penetrate a little bit and to have a little bit of time to penetrate in order to get a better coloring. So I know I'm kind of rambling on a little bit, but I'm going to try today to show you guys a little trick using the dyes. And hopefully you can end up, maybe even saving a little bit of the dyes as you go up. If you just take a little bit of the dyes, just like maybe 2 to 3 drops, There's 3 drops. And you put that onto your dye stain like this, it's going to end up amplifying this dye stain without having to use a whole nother 1/8 teaspoon or 1/4 teaspoon, because you're going to have the dye concentrate right on here. So it's a good way to end up saving some of the dyes, but still getting very good color results with using less dye. Thing. Just a couple of drops. But yeah, when you end up using this technique, you just kind of want to make sure that you're not leaving any lap lines, because the dye concentrate will, it can end up tending to have a little bit of dyes, you know, lingering by. It can end up having some lap lines, like here would be a lap line. So you'll just want to, you know, just even that in. What I did was I just flipped my wipe around here when it doesn't have the dye concentrate on it, that side, and I'm just kind of working it all the way around now here. Okay, so I'm just going to come back to this side and do the same thing. Well, let me get this a little wet. Okay, so that's that. I'm gonna actually let these dry out now, and they'll darken up quite a bit over some time. I'm actually losing my light, my daylight. So I'll probably end up coming back to this in the morning. All right, so it is daytime, and I apologize for last night. The light was not so good. It was pretty late. I was getting pretty tired. But anyways, basically, we're going to try to get through this. What I did on this piece was just took the 1/8 teaspoon and 4 ounces of lacquer thinner, and I applied it just to this board. There was no dye concentrate applied to the cloth. So that's basically where we are at. I am now going to end up taking some spray. And I will start to seal these up. Now, I hope that this actually looks better than it does on my viewfinder, which I've noticed is happening sometimes. So this is the finished results using the Keda Dye Liquid Dye Stain, the Crimson Bright Red. This is the results. This one is just the 1/8 teaspoon with the 4 ounces of lacquer thinner. I'm just trying to see how I can get a good imaging on this, because it's looking pretty oversaturated. Again, it could just be my viewfinder that I'm looking through this, but there is very nice definition through here. It's a very nice vibrant red color. Again, this one was just with the 1/8 teaspoon and the 4 ounces of dye stain. This was not done with the dye stain concentrate applied to the board directly. On the dye stain saturated cloth, and then applied to the board directly. So that is just with the 1/8 teaspoon and the 4 ounces of lacquer thinner. This one is the one where we ended up putting the dye concentrate right onto the board. So as you can see, it just offers a little more contrasting features in the in the grains of the wood. Now these pieces aren't exactly identical, so it could also just be the wood piece itself and the features of this particular wood piece as compared to this one. That's very possible as well. But what I've come to find is that, you know, just by adding a couple drops, you can get a pretty good saturation, and you don't have to add a whole bunch to a dye stain solution. And it's just a tip that you can use if you want to. If not, that's all your choice. So that's that. This is the oak, and I'm not sure how good this one's gonna end up actually showing up. It's just a gorgeous depth in this center pieces right here, but I'm not sure if that's gonna actually end up being picked up by the camera. It's, at least on this viewfinder, it's not coming through very well, but it does just have a very nice, very clean look to it. And maybe if I can just get it at a certain angle, it will end up showing that up. At least I hope it shows up on the camera. At least when I'm going through the editing portion of it, I'm really hoping that it ends up showing up, because it really is nice. So anyways, this is the 1/8 teaspoon, and we did add, you know, a couple of drops to the dye stain saturated rag to end up adding a little more, I guess, punch to the wood finish. So I hope that this video ends up helping out, and you know, just gives a little demonstration of what the Keda liquid dyes are capable of doing, and some of the results that we ended up getting with both maple and the oak. So, all right, you guys, thanks for watching.